But because they're so fast, I think we will go into the beginning of the Paladin stuff. We'll do all the A Realm Reborn stuff today, because it's Gladiator, then you hit level 30, and you gain access to Paladin. For the first time in their history, the Sultan's sworn elite of Ul'dah have elected to share the secret skills and trainings of Paladins with the public. In proving your worth to undertake their training, you encounter a rogue Paladin who has besmirched the honor of this once proud brotherhood. Genlins, captain of the Sultan's Sworn, asks that you marshal your resources and hone your skills, that you might one day help bring this traitor to justice. Oh, there you are, Kinliana. Perfect timing. I've just heard a juicy bit of gossip that I know you're going to be interested in. Apparently, and remember you heard this first from me, the Sultan's sworn a leader sharing the secret skills and training of Paladins. Incredible, I know. The Sultan's Sworn have an exclusive monopoly on the instruction of Paladin skills. Once upon a time, if you weren't one of those officer track elites, then you had no chance to learn the arts. And competition to get to the top was very fierce indeed, let me tell you. But anyone who joined had to swear an oath of fealty to the Ul'dah Sultanate, which meant no more adventuring, and no more daring do, and no more Colosseum. Just languishing about in the palace all day, polishing plate mail. That's why this news is so big. Now anyone with a bit of commitment can learn the skills of a paladin, and no memorizing the 55 commandments of the Sworn, or any other nonsense either. This is a golden, no platinum opportunity that comes by once in a lucky adventurer's lifetime. Let this slip through your fingers, and regret will be your just desserts. You need to go to the Royal Promenade in the Hustings Strip. Find the captain of the Sultan's Sworn Elite, Genlins is his name, and tell him how you're just dying to become a paladin. Does Mila have anything fun to say? No, I'm not even allowed to talk to her. Fair enough. Yes, I'm Genlins, member of the Sultan's Sworn Elite and servant to the Ul'dah Sultanate. Unless my instincts deceive me, you have come to inquire about training as a paladin. If so, I would have your name, good woman. Kinliana, a fine name. I bid you welcome and salute your noble resolve. But if you aspire to paladinhood, you should understand what it means. A paladin swears allegiance to the Sultanate. A paladin shall be the sword and shield of the Sultanate. A paladin defends the people of the realm. Sellswords and gladiators and others of their ilk wield the blades for themselves, but a paladin serves the greater good. You understand me? The battle arts that the paladin learns have been held secret, nurtured and perfected within the ranks of the Sultan's Sworn Elite for nigh on these 600 years. Of all those sworn to protect the Sultanate, the soldiers, the mounted guards, and the knights, we are the elite of the elite, our conviction unwavering, our hearts true, our sword skills without peer. But the glory of the Sultan's Sworn, well, much of it's buried in the past now. Our brotherhood grows smaller by the year. We are a shadow of what we once were, and the Sultana turns to sellswords to defend her palace. All this because of one traitor. No, because of a blot of dishonor left by one who shall not be named. And because of him, we've been forced to seek the help of able-bodied adventurers. And here you are. We shall instruct you in the paladin military arts. You will not be inducted into the Sultan's Sworn, but serve as a free paladin. However, first, you will show us that both your sword and heart have metal, and you are worthy of the honor. In the ruins to the south of Little Alamigo, you will find an iron brazier. Light it, and the undead nearby will be drawn to the flame. Slay these monsters, and give their hearts to the fire. Return and present to me their ashes as proof of your deed. Now, would-be paladin, show me the metal in your heart, and the steel in your blade. I actually don't remember this quest line at all. Like, I remembered the Gladiator one. I have zero recollection of the Abraham Paladin quest. You were in this place searching for the undead, then you must be a petitioner seeking the secrets of the Paladin arts. But make no mistake, simply learning Paladin swordplay does not make you a Paladin, nor does the armor you wear, or the status you claim. I am just another aging, free Paladin, but you would do well to heed my counsel. Strike off the shackles that bind your spirit, lift the visor that blinds, and find the true path of the Paladins. Here, you will be returning to the captain, yes? Then give him this crystal. The way you use that sword reminds me of a man I used to know. Mine eyes may be old, but they can see the truth well enough. Be a paladin strong and true. Devote yourself to the way and become a beacon of light. Face the undead monsters who infest the ruins south of Little Alamigo in southern Thanalan. Defeat them and return with proof of your deed. Yes, that's what I needed. Proof that you have defeated the undead. You have shown that your heart is true, and your sword has metal. I have no doubt that you will prove to be an attentive pupil. That is well, for there is much to learn. First and foremost is this. You are a paladin now, custodian of traditions ancient and noble. A free paladin has no master. Instead, she travels all lands, and in every place takes up the cause of the unarmed and defenseless. You swear fealty not to a lord, but to yourself. You are nobility amongst adventurers. You've taken your first step on the new path, and you've earned the right to bear this, the soul of the paladin. Upon its surface are carved the deeds of paladins of eras past. She who bears it commands the respect of all knights of honor. Bahamut's Fang, you already possess a crystal? And you say it was given to you by an unknown free paladin who told you to hand it to me. Where is this crystal of which you speak? I demand you show it to me at once. Curse him. He's made mockery of the trial. That crystal you bear is indeed the soul of a paladin, but it is disgraced, impure. It was stolen from the Sultan Sworn. The man who gave you this soul is the very traitor who I have been seeking these many moons. He is an oathbreaker who bent the knee to the Uldan Sultanate and who swore allegiance to the Sultan Sworn, but then single-handedly sullied our name and trampled it underfoot until it was lost, perhaps forever. And now he gives counsel and honor on the paladin way. His soul is polluted, and I must dispose of it. When you come to wield your sword as a paladin, the only soul you may wear is that which is bestowed by a captain of the Sultan Sworn. That traitor is no Sultan Sworn, still less a captain. By giving you a soul, he insulted not only the Brotherhood, but you too. Perhaps an adventurer like yourself finds our rules nothing more than a nuisance. But, though through reigns long and short, our forebears in Sultan Sworn have preserved the rituals and traditions, and we are duty-bound to uphold them, even if men and women within our ranks scorn them as relics. It has been my fate to be named captain of the Sultan Sworn in these troubled times. Though I did not ask for this honor, I have bent my knee to the Sultana and sworn fealty, and I will fight to restore our honor and name. You wield a skilled blade, and more importantly, you have met the traitor face to face. A great task as a paladin will be to help bring him to justice. You must ready yourself, marshal your resources, and hone your skills until the time comes when you are able to discharge your duty. The journey will be long, but you are a paladin now, and honor binds you as surely as an oath. Souls of paladins past, bequeath their knowledge to you. Now my hotbars won't be jank as fuck. Oop. Level 35. You've earned the right to call yourself a paladin, but how do others treat you? Do they recognize you for what you are? Remember that fancy swordplay and well-polished armor do not make you a paladin. You must be just in your heart, and strive always to be an exemplar of true virtue. Once, not so long ago, the Sultan Sworn could walk the streets with their heads held high. When they marched by, the small folk would look upon them with reverence and gratitude, and no one was more respected than the captain, my predecessor. When I first saw him, I was still a child. My father had promised to take me to a local festival, but somewhere he took a wrong turn. We became lost and stumbled into a secluded back alley. Luck was not with us, because the next moment we found ourselves in the middle of a riot. Drunken hunters were firing arrows into the crowd, and we were caught between them. There was no way out. Only a matter of time before we would be struck. That's when the captain saved us from our plight. Never seen a sword move so swiftly. It flashed faster than my eyes could follow, and in seconds the hunters were on the ground or fleeing for their lives. The captain was gone down the street, slicing at their heels before my father had time to thank him. Even today I can see the captain as he was then, blood on his sword, armor impossibly bright in the sun. After that, all I ever wanted was to be a paladin. I could practice endlessly with my sword, dreaming of bandits defeated and monsters slain. Even after I became one of the Sultan Sworn, the memory of the captain still inspired me. I was always the first to arrive in the training yard, and the last to leave. And so the years passed, and before I knew it, I found myself named captain of the Sultan Sworn. Yet the triumph was hollow, because by then, the honor of the Sultan Sworn elite, that very thing that had drawn me to the Brotherhood, was a mere vestige, like the discarded banner of a defeated foe. There were many reasons for the fall, but the loss of Oathkeeper, yes, that was a mortal blow. The sword Oathkeeper was bestowed upon the first captain of the Sultan Sworn by the then Sultan of Ul'dah. In time, it became our standard, the symbol of the oaths we had sworn, and it was treasured by each new captain for generations. Possession was proof of Sultan Sworn command. But then the unthinkable came to pass. Oathkeeper was stolen by the traitor. It shook our brotherhood to the core. How can we be trusted to protect the Sultana if we cannot even hold on to the symbol of our fealty? We have been tarnished in the eyes of ruler and ruled alike. The Sultan Sworn are to survive, we must find the traitor and recover Oathkeeper. But the Sultan Sworn have grown too weak. We cannot do it ourselves. We've been forced to recruit outsiders to help us in our cause. I have high hopes for you, my friend. It is a great thing that we ask, and you must learn more of our secrets if you are to succeed. In outer Lenosha, near the Hermit's Hovel, is a grove where ringtails congregate. Pitting yourself against a host of beasts would be a fine way to hone the skills that I will teach you. In the grove, you will find another brazier, this time filled with a potent incense that will drive the creatures into a frenzy. Defeat your attackers and return to me. Memories of Paladin's past have awoken within you. They too killed lots of monkeys. Why? I don't know. Well done. You have taken the skills I taught you and made them your own. I still do not have word of where the traitor is hiding, but I will inform you the moment I do. Until then, continue your training. Now I can use Sheltrod. Level 40. Welcome, Paladin. You should know that word of your deeds has reached me. You are those who follow the true Paladin path without misstep, but you are one of them. I am proud to call you sister. You have kept the faith, and in return I must have faith in you. It is time that you knew the truth, though it is hard to share, for it is a shame I would rather keep hidden from outsiders. Perhaps you remember when I told you of the traitor and the sword Oathkeeper that he stole. His name is Solkazgil. Solkazagil? Solkazagil. We're gonna go with that one. Fucking Rogadin. His name is Solkazagil, and he was my predecessor as captain of the Sultan's Sworn Elite. Yet, he was the same man who I had admired as a child, who inspired me to take up the sword and follow the way of the Paladin. He was the paragon of paladins, until, that is, he changed. Some years ago now, there was a struggle for influence between the Sultanate military and a faction within the syndicate known as the Monetarists. The latter emerged triumphant, and the army's authority was diminished dramatically. Although Solkazagil was still captain of the Sultan's Sworn Elite, he knew his position was perilous, so he fled, taking Oathkeeper with him. In so doing, he went against the words that he had spoken on bended knee before his royal liege. Now it falls to me as captain to restore the honor and name of the Sultan Sworn. If that means cutting down my former mentor and master, I would do it gladly, for his misdeeds cannot be forgiven. But his death will not lift the stain that mars our name. He must be put on trial in a public court so that everyone knows his crimes. Then and only then can we begin to earn the people's trust again. He served for over 30 years as captain of the Sultan's Sworn Elite, and he is a formidable foe. You can match his skill with a sword. Even together, you and I will find it difficult to take him alive without mortal harm to one side or the other. You must continue to hone your skills and prepare for the day when we will face him. To complete the next stage of your training, you must do this. Go to the Yagaram River in eastern Thanalan and find the brazier we have placed there. By lighting it, you will draw the ire of the lepidotes dwelling within the waters. Face the creatures in battle and master your new skills. The fight will not be easy, but if you take to heart what you have learned and let the crystal be your guide, you will triumph. Solkazagil. Fucking Rogadin names are... Well, it's only one side of Rogadin. There's two kinds of Rogadin, and one of them have unpronounceable names, like Melviv and Solkazagil, and the other ones are like Big Tree, and that's his name. Painted Mesa, Hoary Boulder. I like those names. Nope, not the Gladiators Guild. Have it. Good, you've mastered your new skills and made them your own. Much work remains to be done before you can face the traitor Solkazagil. We are close to finding him, and as our net draws tighter, it grows even more important that we make ready for the moment when the fish must at last be landed. Killed some more animals. Very cool. But now I have the skill Prominence, the other AoE skill. $45. Welcome, friend. I have important news for you. In my search for the traitor, I have been looking through old records and discovered something chilling. Around the time the traitor Solkazagil was named captain, several famed soldiers of the Sultan Sworn met with untimely deaths. But strangely, our records do not say how they died. Curious, I begged the favor of an old friend and received permission to inspect medical records kept by Frondale's frontistry. I discovered that the soldiers died in various ways, some in combat, some suddenly at night in the barracks. But in nearly every case, there were signs that poison had played a role in their demise. Yes, poison. Carefully, invisibly administered. The more I read, the more I saw the dark hand of death's embrace at work. Assassins in the pay and service of the monetarists. A society so secretive that few believe it truly exists. But no matter how skilled and devious the assassins, they should not have been able to kill so many of the Sultan's sworn elite without being discovered. Not, that is, without help from within our own ranks. So I asked myself, who had the most to gain from their deaths? One by one, the former captain, his trusted aides, the most capable of the Sultan's sworn who might become future commanders. All of them slain by an invisible hand. And with their deaths, the way was open for Solgzalgo to become the Sultan's sworn's youngest captain in a century. The monetarists were plotting to kill the best and bravest of the Sultan's sworn, to purge its ranks of greatness, and enervate it so that it could no longer carry out its duty to serve as a sword and shield of the Sultanate. Which begs the question, how did Solgzalgo remain captain for 30 long years? How did he avoid the poisoner's kiss, when men better than him had succumbed? There can be only one explanation. He was the monetarist's cat's paw, the turncloak in our midst. Needless to say, I am more determined to track him down than ever before. While I continue my investigation, I have a trial for you. I want you to seek the gallant armor, the legendary raiments worn by generations of the finest soldiers of the Sultan's sworn. In accordance with Sultan's sworn tradition, the set of yours that would be yours has been scattered across southern Thanalan. Each piece has been locked within a coffer, which will be guarded by 2 men. You must best the Sultan's sworn themselves if we are to claim their armor. I think this used to be scattered across multiple quests. They definitely streamlined this though, because the armor that they give you at level 45 is basically pointless. I think mine is in my armoire. I feel like I should pull it out and glam it on. Gotta be realsies. Sultan's sworn elite, huh? Very elite. Much wow. Drink. Ooh, he didn't die in one hit. Good for him. Right, it's the chest piece that you get separately. Okay, that makes sense. Oh my god, it's giving me new ones. Amazing. You can have more than one. I love that. So if I do search for item, there should be some in my... Yeah, there's more. Very cool. You know what? We're gonna glam it over. Since they were so kind as to give me new ones. I'll do it after talking to the dude though. Good. The armor is yours. You have learned your lessons well and honed your skills, and now you are ready to face Zogzalgil the traitor. Yes, the time has come. I have discovered his hiding place and made contact through emissaries. We are negotiating the return of Oathkeeper. Secrecy is crucial, as is preparation. We will leave only when you are ready. Again, why do they, like, everything, all the armor and sets are like, you don't need coverage of pants. I'm basically sitting here in undies now. But, well, this is what I've been told to do. Those are my instructions. Oh, also crown. Is I, fierce, undie paladin. So, yeah, I don't have a chest piece, right? I'm pretty sure that comes up to this quest. Yeah. Oh, this is also level 45. Okay, that makes sense. The recovery of Oathkeeper will be the first step in restoring the honor of the Sultan Sworn. I have told Zogzalgil that if he returns the sword, we will give him a fair trial. Otherwise, he shall be captured and thrown at the feet of the Sultana for judgment. The parley is to take place south of Forgotten Springs in the Sigoli Desert. Give me your map, and I will mark the location. While I believe he is acting alone, we must be prepared for anything. You may be certain that the Monitorists will not take kindly to his surrender. In fact, I believe that should the Monitorists discover Zogzalgil is willing to parley, they will surely try to intervene. Therefore, we must not speak of what we do, not to anyone. We should travel separately, so as to not attract attention. We shall meet again at the parley. Drive my car to the parley, don't mind me. Oh, I think he's the bad guy. I'd forgotten about this. You're a bad guy. So you dared to come. You are a brazen one. I'll grant you that. Did you really think I wouldn't find out? Come, confess. My allies within the Sultan Sworn have told me the truth. I know you are working in league with the traitor and the Monitorists. Confess. With your dying breath, you will tell me where I can find Oathkeeper and the traitor who stole it. No, okay, he's just an idiot. Do you dare accuse my own Sultan Sworn of lying? We are comrades in arms, every one of us, bound in brotherhood by our oath. I would trust them with my life. What is your word when set against theirs? We know the meaning of honor. You are a naive fool. I suspected you from the beginning, ever since you showed me the soul of the Paladin that the traitor Zogzalgil gave you. You were, no matter how briefly, a Paladin, and as such you are bound by a code of honor that is as unforgiving as it is noble. Traitor, I sentence you to death, and decree that your body shall lie here and feed the crows. Y'all are idiots. That's shirt over and over again. Save whatever dignity you have left and accept your fate. Confess! Damn you, confess! How dare you use our arts against us? You cannot do this. I am the greater swordsman. superior in every way. You were blinded, Genlins, by your own conviction. Genlins, remember your own lesson. A paladin does not exist to defend his position or the honor of his fellow Sultan Sworn. Those men were assassins, in service of the monetarists. The moment you outlived your usefulness, you were to be killed. You and this free paladin of yours. Liar! You are their agent! You betrayed us for them! You were always naive, Genlins, too willing to trust your fellow man. It's one of your virtues, but you have a deplorable habit of turning your virtues into vices. Think. The information you uncovered, how did you come by it? Did it fall into your lap as if, oh, I don't know, someone was feeding it to you for their own purposes? You and the paladins under your command are the monetarists' lapdogs. Genlins, you have been led to a merry dance, and followed their lead at every step. Then, you were never a traitor. You were innocent? I have wronged you. Easy now. Wounds aren't mortal, but you still need real rest. I'll take care of the captain. He's had worse, and we'll have him back on his feet soon enough. You become a fine warrior, and learned all there is to know about the way of the paladin. I think perhaps that you are not aware of just how much you've grown. Well, it's time you were made aware, paladin. When the captain's recovered, keep an eye on him for me, will you? He needs someone like you to watch his back. Paladin, I have done you a great wrong. I allowed myself to be hoodwinked, accused you of treason, and even turned my sword against you. I hope that you can find it in your heart to forgive you. As for me, yes, I am recovered from my wounds, at least those that will heal. Far more important than that, Sogzalgil is innocent. After all, he was never a traitor, and the dream that I followed in my youth was not a lie. I remain captain of the elite, although a poor substitute for my predecessor. I am now working on a plan to strike back at the monetarists and restore the Sultan Storm to its former strength. No, do not be afraid for me. We've unmasked the foe, and he cannot hide behind his deceptions anymore. The assassins won't find it easy to reach me. For now, I will bide my time, marshal my strength, and when the time is ripe, strike hard at our enemies. Cover! The skill that I totally use all the time, I swear. Level 50, keeping the oath. Welcome, Paladin. I'd hoped to see you before I left. You remained a true friend, even after all the wrongs I did you, and I owe you my trust. I will tell you everything I've learned. After our encounter within the hills, I spent some time in the care of Sogzalgil, recovering from my wounds. As I convalesced, he gave me the true account of what happened these last few years in his solitary war against the monetarists. After he went into hiding, he tried to get word to me about what was happening, but I was surrounded by agents in the pay of the monetarists who kept me isolated and ignorant. They planted the lie that Sogzalgil was a traitor and tricked me into tracking him down. I was their puppet, twitching obediently at the end of the strings they pulled. When I discovered the deaths and wraiths had been behind the demise of my brothers and sisters, they panicked. Especially when they found out I had shared the information with you. They set us a trap and baited it with the promise of a parley with Sogzalgil. Sogzalgil was no traitor, and I should well have known, but I allowed myself to be deceived by the whispers of mummers and flatterers, and no, that was not the way of it. It was not their lies that made me blind, but my desire, nay, obsession, to restore our honor. For the Sultan Sworn and all paladins who have bent the knee to a higher cause, honor is a means to an end, not the end itself. I lost sight of that, and in so doing, lost sight of my true duty. So Xalgal understood what was happening, and that is why he gave you the soul of the paladin. It was a remonstration, a message. Look how adventurers live, he was telling me. Where does their honor, their authority come from? I owe my position to the machinations of the monetarists. They calculated that a young captain eager to prove his loyalty, bound by unquestioning fealty, would be all the easier to control. They were right. I'm a sham and a fake, but the world does not know that, and even the illusion of power is a power of sorts. I can use it to fight back. I'll tell my subordinates that I'm fleeing to Snowcloak and Kurthus. When the monetarists hear of this, they surely will. They will send assassins after me again. When they show their hand, I will stand my ground and fight back. I realize you may wish to offer your assistance. However, I cannot in good conscience put you in harm's way anymore. You, too, have become a target of the Cabal's assassins. The odds will be against me, that much is certain, but so Xalgal has taught me much. If I am brave and vigilant, I know I can triumph. I'm sorry you've been caught up in our own political struggles, but now as a paladin, it is time you traveled your own path. Ah, yes. So Xalgal wished to have a word with you as well. You will find him in central Thanalan. Allow me to mark the location on your map. Thank you for coming, Kinliana. We haven't much time, so I'll be blunt. Genlins will die if he faces death's embrace alone. I know what I must do, and I suspect you do as well. If you are the woman I believe you to be, then we will meet again soon. You as well? I told you to go to ground. This isn't your fight. First Xalgal, now you. Are you both so eager to die? You forget that we are paladins. Wheresoever our duty leads us, we go, and do so of our own free will. To abide by one's own sense of justice is to embrace the paladin's creed. Sworn or unsworn, we are paladins true. And the only true oath we swear is the one we swear to ourselves. Now come, let us stand shoulder to shoulder and show the Blackhearts the metal of our souls and the steel of our swords. I suspected they would send minions. Void sent? Hardly a challenge for a trio of paladins. Surely the Monitorists would go to greater lengths than this. Those void scent were called forth by a mage who I suspect is observing as we speak. Spread out and search for anything unusual, but tread lightly. This could very well be a trap. What sorcery is this? Likely the work of our mage. It pulses with a queer light. Up above, it's the mage. The grimoire, it's a trap. Damn you, Soxogil. Kinliana, are you in? Oh, damn you. Soxogil, Kinliana, are you injured? How disappointing. I'd hoped to finish this quickly. Not that I expect you to live much longer. Cut down the assassins quickly. They're that mage. These magics are not to be trifled with. Where did that monstrosity come from? Over there, look. The grimoire is the source. I will hold the beasts at bay. Genlins, Kinliana, destroy the grimoire. Done well. You never flinched from your duty. You followed the path you knew you had to take, and you showed us what it means to be a paladin. You even managed to pry the scales from Genlin's eyes while you were at it. It's been an honor to know you and watch you grow. In any case, today's battle should blunt the Monitorist's dagger. At least for a while. They'll think twice before sending assassins after the Sultan sworn again. I trust you will see to this mess, Genlins. Yes, sir. I mean, Captain. Please, sir, return to the capital. Take up your command again. The burden is... it's too much for the likes of me. The Monitorists may have stolen Oathkeeper, but oaths are not forged in steel. They are sworn in the heart. You never betrayed your oaths, Genlins. As for your leadership, well, ask this paladin if she learned anything from you. No matter what the circumstances, once a man has left the Sultan sworn, he cannot return. No. I followed my own path, and on it I will stay. I have followed you since the day I vowed to join the ranks of the Sultan Sworn. Has the time come for me to stop following and begin to lead? Thank you for coming. Once again, you have placed me in your debt. See me in the city when you return. I will have something for you. Welcome, Paladin. These have been troubled times for the Sultan Sworn. You have served us loyally. You did what was just. Followed the Paladin way and defended the weak and needy. You were a true Oathkeeper. Honor and right were yours from the very beginning, and that is what made you strong. Strong enough to defeat me. The sword Oathkeeper has yet to be found, but I have come to realize that I do not need it. Nay, not to lead the Sultan Sworn, nor to restore our good name. The oaths we keep are in our hearts, not in hallowed blades. So Xoggle is left to wander the nations of Eorzea. He is a man of honor, and unless I am very much mistaken, he will continue to look for the sword that was gifted by our ruler centuries ago. I shall continue to serve Ul'dah as one of the Sultan Sworn. You shall defend the people of Eorzea as a free paladin. Our paths diverge now. We will forever be bound by the oaths we keep in our hearts. But listen to me. Noble words aren't much good to an adventurer who has to face monsters and menaces out in the real world. Fortunately, I have something that will serve you rather better. The sacred armor has been kept within the Sultan Sworn for many generations. It was given only to those Sultan Sworn who had, through feats of arms and deeds of great courage, earned the privilege to wear it. But something tells me that, for the first time since I left the Armorer's Forge, this armor should go to someone who is not of the Sultan Sworn. If I allowed myself to be a slave to the tradition, the paladin who deserves it the most would never wear it. Now, wouldn't that be a waste of fine plate? Just one thing. If anyone asks where you got it, you mustn't say it was me. Hallowed ground. We did it. Big Pog. Paladin Part 1. Big done. That's really funny. They never give you another chess piece. You only get everything else because you get them from the quest, not from the rewards. That's very funny. I can delete these though, because